KUAM TV8, home of the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics. Coverage begins February 6, 2026. Brought to you locally by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
On KUAM News Primetime.
From rental discrimination to bomb threat scares disrupting daily life, lawmakers took up issues residents say are impossible to ignore. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with more on this coming up.
More than half a decade in recovery, Guam's tourism landscape has been reshaped by the COVID-19 pandemic. Mitsuki Hirayama with Y tourism officials are now saying they're optimistic that tourism arrivals will peak this fiscal year.
Recognizing a federal landmark education law. More than 50 years of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act tonight. Hafa and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Destiny Cruz-Langus. Thanks for ending your day with us. Convening for their first session of the new year, lawmakers debated and advanced legislation focused on housing discrimination and public safety, marking the start of a busy session that continues this week. Nevaeh Anderson reports. As Guam's housing market tightens and public safety disruptions grow more frequent, senators began their first session of 2026 advancing bills aimed at stability and accountability. First, Bill number 29 by Senator Sabina Perez would adopt prohibitions against housing discrimination based on income, including federal housing vouchers. While the Fair Housing Act does not require landlords to accept vouchers, Perez says the consequences of that gap are clear.
So federal housing vouchers help about 2.3 million low-income households and veterans live in adequate and stable housing. However, it is currently legal for landlords to
the very fabric our community makes this place and calls it home.
The measure also addressed concerns over limiting rentals to military-only tenants, with supporters saying the goal is a fairer market open to all qualified renters. Bill 29 ultimately advanced to the voting file. Second, lawmakers took up Bill number 162 by Vice Speaker Tony Yatta, a response to the scourge of bomb threat scares. The bill strengthens penalties for terroristic conduct involving bomb threats, whether written or digital, expands protections for public spaces, and even allows impacted businesses to pursue civil lawsuits. Proposed fines range from $2,500 to $25,000, with possible prison sentences of up to 10 years.
Mr. Speaker, most people on Guam consider bomb scares as acts of stupidity. As stupid as the nuisances can be, they are costly to the victims and to the offenders, and they should be held both criminally and financially responsible.
Lawmakers collectively pointed to evacuations at Micronesia Mall, a lockdown at Guam Memorial Hospital, and coordinated threats targeting schools, hotels, shopping centers, and even the governor's office over the years, incidents that disrupted daily life and induced fear among parents, students, and workers. With unanimous support, Bill 162 was also moved to the voting file. While these measures move forward, they represent just the opening chapter. Lawmakers continue session this week with more bills scheduled for debate and action. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News. Well, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero is set to deliver a State of Economy address to the Guam Chamber of Commerce Wednesday morning, speaking directly to business leaders and workers at their general membership meeting at the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa. A release from Adelup says the address marks a, quote, defining moment in Guam's growing resurgence and outlines how the choice is now required to sustain it. The governor's remarks will emphasize that, quote, Guam has moved beyond crisis and stabilization and now stands at a point where deliberate leadership will determine whether recent gains translate into lasting opportunity for business, workers, and families across the island. Her address is expected to cover everything from global shifts in tourism and the unprecedented scale of the military buildup to private sector growth and workforce development. Adelup states the governor's remarks will, quote, call on government, business, and workers alike to prepare for change, compete in evolving markets, and partner to ensure that opportunity is broad-basis, affordable, and durable. We'll have more on her State of Economy address tomorrow on Primetime.
Well, much of the state of Guam's economy relies on the tourism industry, which officials say supports some 14,100 hospitality jobs. And it's no secret recovery has been sluggish, with that number down to 31% compared to 21,000 jobs in 2019 and less visitor arrivals before the pandemic. So what's being done to get to pre-pandemic numbers? Mitsuki Hirayama reports.
It's been 6 years since the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted Guam's #1 economic driver and reshaped the island's tourism landscape. Several landmark businesses have closed up shop, and more still are planning their exit in the coming months, like major luxury retailers DFS and Tumon and Lotte Duty Free at the airport, where visitors likely get their last impression of Guam before they return home. On the other hand, entrepreneurs continue to invest in Guam, expand, and hope for better days ahead. It's this optimism Guam Visitors Bureau President and CEO Regine Biscoli highlights during Monday's tourism talks with local media.
There are a number of things that we were looking at in trying to work with our partners over at GITA to provide additional incentives for luxury retail to make sure that, they're able to make up some of their margins. But there's also, a number of luxury retail shops that still exist in our hotels and in right across the street from DFS and a number of other shops. There's still an opportunity for folks to have that experience should they want to. But we're also seeing a number of new businesses pop up all across the island.
Biscoli is also, quote, very optimistic that this fiscal year, visitor arrivals will break the 1 million mark for the first time since the pandemic. The $10 million in airline incentives and marketing funding appropriated by senators to help bring in more visitors will play a key role. She says so far, GVB received $5.9 million out of that $10 million. KUAM asked the president to respond to Tourism Oversight Chair Senator Jessie Lujan's demand for accountability should GVB miss that mark.
So the great opportunity that we have is, again, we're on these calls with the airport every single week. We're keeping a very, very close eye on these things, and it's not going to be at the end of fiscal year we're like, oh, we didn't meet our targets. We know right away if things aren't working out. And so we're able to check and adjust against those plans. It's a strategy that is, we're constantly reviewing our forecasts, our targets in every single market.
One of those marketing strategies already adjusted the past few months in response to a changing market, hiring influencers to promote Guam.
We have actually found some really great success, specifically out of Korea, in working directly with influencers for flash sales. What I mean by that is, let's say the very famous influencer Jason Salas decides to go on to all of his 5 million followers in Korea and says, hey guys, check me out, here's me on a jet ski in Guam, here's me doing all this really fun stuff in Guam. For a very limited time, for the next 24 hours, I'll be selling this package to Guam. Make sure that you get it. And we've had, maybe we work with that influencer for a couple $1,000s, and the return on that has been tremendous.
Meantime, elected officials continue to keep their eye on recovery. As reported, the Tourism Oversight Chair recently warned GVB management that additional funding is off the table without results or reform. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Time for a quick break. You're watching KUAM.
I keep hearing your ad say everyone gets our best deal. Does that really mean everyone?
Everyone means everyone.
New customer?
Yup.
Upgrading?
You got it.
What what if I'm already with GTA?
Everyone gets $300 off our latest smartphones when they sign up for a Live Unlimited plan.
Finally, a deal really for everyone.
Everyone, yay! Ding.
The sausage egg biscuit is perfect.
Now it comes with hot honey sauce.
I stand corrected.
Anything's possible. I push to the limits. I climb every wall. I keep on believing. Anything's possible.
If there's one thing we've learned, it's never to underestimate the spirit and strength of the people of our island home. Which is why at Bank of Hawaii, you, your dreams, and your possibilities will always have a home. Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
And even as challenges remain in expanding access to supports for island students, education officials are looking back on the journey that brought them here, honoring a landmark education law for individuals with disabilities. Here's more.
Celebrating 50 years of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. On Friday, the Guam Department of Education, alongside government officials, holding a proclamation signing in Adelup to mark the milestone legislation that ensures children with disabilities receive a free and appropriate public education tailored to their individual needs. According to the Department of Education, back in 1970, U.S. schools educated only 1 in 5 children with disabilities, with many states excluding students who were deaf, blind, and had an intellectual disability. That changed with the enactment of IDEA, formerly known as the Education for All Handicapped Children Act in 1975. The law provided states and localities with support to protect the rights of, meet the individual needs of, and improve outcomes for infants, toddlers, children, and youth with disabilities along with their families.
The IDEA has advanced us from exclusion to guaranteed access, from segregation to inclusive learning environments, from limited services to individual supports and protections, from low expectations to high standards and accountability.
That's Tom Babauta, Assistant Superintendent of GDOE's Special Education Division. Looking ahead, he says the department remains focused on expanding access to high-quality supports for the island's children, strengthening collaboration with families and community partners, and ensuring students are prepared for school, work, and independent living. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero also reaffirming her commitment to maintaining funding for special education programs, as Congress's recent budget agreement rebuffs many of the sweeping changes sought by President Donald Trump for services supporting individuals with developmental disabilities. Under the bill, special education funding would increase by $20 million, while also rejecting proposals to alter IDEA by consolidating funding and shifting greater control to the states.
We will and are going to work with the legislature to find the means to continue this program because it is necessary. It's the right thing to do. It's the humanitarian thing to do. It's for our children again. And as Tom said, inclusiveness is about all of us.
And in other news, 3 women and 2 men were arrested following a coordinated early morning raid at a Manila residence as part of an ongoing drug trafficking investigation. Between 5:30 and 6:30 a.m. Wednesday, units from the Guam Police Department, along with federal partners, executed a no-knock search warrant at the home of 36-year-old Joanna Rosabel Lado, who court documents identify as the primary target on the investigation. Authorities say they seized methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, and items consistent with the use and distribution of the controlled substance, including baggies, glass pipes, fabricated smoking devices, and a digital scale. The items were allegedly found in plain view bedrooms, common areas, and vehicles connected to the residence. In addition to Lado, Zachary de la Cruz, Roxanne Aquino, Aisha Concepcion, and Clayton Sablon were arrested after being found in separate rooms, allegedly in possession of controlled substances and paraphernalia. All 5 were charged in the Superior Court of Guam with possession of a Schedule II controlled substance as a third-degree felony. Concepcion was also charged with illegal possession of a firearm as a third-degree felony. A traffic stop on Route 4 ended in a drug arrest after Draco, a drug detector dog, alerted a methamphetamine in a vehicle, according to a magistrate's complaint filed in Superior Court. Police say the driver, 48-year-old Noreen Marie Cruz, admitted there was meth in the car, but claimed it was not hers, telling officers she had found it at work days earlier. She reportedly said the drugs were inside her purse. Officers found about 1.35 grams of methamphetamine and a pipe with residue during a search. Cruz was charged with possession of a Schedule II controlled substance as a third-degree felony.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a southern view of Inalahan Pool.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
It's a new year, Guam, so let's start with the reset at Kmart. Make your move and start strong. Gear up with fitness equipment and fresh workout apparel. Fuel with wellness essentials, sugar-free options, protein, vitamins, and more. Organize and clear the clutter with easy storage solutions and cleaning essentials. And refresh your living space with new furniture and decor for your home. New year, new me. Your reset starts at Kmart Guam.
The sausage egg biscuit is perfect.
Now it comes with hot honey sauce.
I stand corrected.
With training workshops to preach not only physical conditioning, but discipline to stick with it and get the job done.
So we gotta have them stay consistent. It's always a big problem with a lot of athletes, so staying consistent is important. So we always talk about the importance of always being here, not missing any gym sessions.
Overall, these young women are working on the schemes, defense, tenacity, and communication they'll one day use to represent us in international events like the Micro Games, Pacific Games, Mini Games, and much more. The ladies adapt the concepts faster than their male counterparts, and in some cases, also show more grit.
There's been a lot of growth in girls basketball, and yeah, middle school, high school, there's a lot of talent out here, right? I think we could really develop the girls here on Guam, so we really wanted to bring everybody together and get them going together. Yeah, different schools, all the girls are from different schools playing together, playing against each other, so really good just to see the whole community of girls basketball here getting after it.
It's a fun weekend event with serious business as it pays massive dividends for the trajectory of the women's game locally and how we compete against the world.
Definitely the most attendance that I've seen, at least in recent memory. So just having girls that want to be here, that want to show up, you know, even if it means that they don't make the team, but they still want to be a part of the program, it says a lot. It really does.
The girls are pretty strong.
Yes, sir.
Stronger than a lot of the boys.
Girls, obviously, they follow directions with the drills and everything a little better than the boys, but they really get after it. I think as far as coaching, just being coachable, being a student of the game, I think they're really good at being coachable, and with a bunch of hard work and commitment from Guam basketball and from the girls, I think we can really make something special happen here.
Okay, Eric John Canovis, went to St. Paul's, and I'm from Jigo.
Once again, the simple act of playing a game and the manner in which you conduct yourself in it is being used to illustrate how the decisions we make have big lifelong impacts. And that on an island, we're always part of a team, a unit, and a family that depends on you to hold down your corner.
Yeah, so we're open just to get the whole community involved and then be able to see the parents, support the kids, and then at the same time, while the kids are here, we teach them responsibility, the importance of staying structured and all the other life lessons that come with learning basketball that can be applied into real life.
Togi held a youth basketball camp stressing the analogy of dialogue, smart moves, being defensive, and having your teammates' backs.
Yeah, it's just communication with them. You know, if we're not here to focus so much on the basketball, it's more so to teach them the basics of how to do things. We're planning like intro classes, and then if we have advanced kids, then we can get into the basketball stuff.
And while ball skills may take years to develop and a lifetime to perfect, being a good citizen is a lesson that resonates immediately.
But you know, from this camp, they'll take away, of course, basketball skills, but also our substance-free program that we're doing through our prevention work with KUAM Behavioral. We've been able to partner with Grind for this one. We did our Galiti program, which ended on New Year's. So we're doing a lot of programs with the youth.
And long after the whistle blows and the drill completes, confidence, pride, and responsibility remain.
It's all about sportsmanship out here. And you know, for the kids to be able to come out, express themselves, and for the parents to enjoy seeing them play.
And while the zero-sum rules of sport mandate that one side emerges victorious, when you steer clear from drugs and make good life choices, you win every time.
The sausage egg biscuit is perfect.
Now it comes with hot honey sauce.
I stand corrected.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love.
Okay, everybody, not a day goes by that I literally do not visit the food court. And look who I ran into, my new friend, Allie from Raising Cane's.
Hey.
Hello, half a day.
Half a day.
Okay, and we just happened to bump into each other. And she's, hey, I'm the marketing manager for Guam, Hawaii, and Alaska. And you're very familiar with the projects that we work with you guys on. And we love working with Raising Cane's so much because you guys have National Chicken Finger Day, Clear the Shelters where we help the animals, Back to School. We do a whole bunch of stuff with you guys and we really enjoy working with you.
We do. You guys are awesome too. Same. The feeling is very much mutual. We love doing stuff with you guys. And
Well,
the
we've got
amount of
the
stuff
easy
you do in the amount of stuff you guys do in the community is like right up our alley. So
Okay,
we
and
love
that's one of the reasons why we like working with you guys, because the community service and giving back really is at the heart of Raising Cane's. And Dave, I know, who's back there like grinding you.
Yeah.
Hardest working crew in Chicken Fingers too.
Yep.
Is he always emphasizes that really getting involved with the community is a big part of Raising Cane's.
It is, and we actually say ACI, so we say active community involvement, which we would rather do that than just paying for a commercial or something like that. We want to make sure that we're giving back to the communities that we're in, and we know we're a big company that comes from the mainland, but making sure that we're here as Guam's Canes.
Yep. And Allie, we always camp out here for the back to school promotions we do with you.
Yes.
That's always my favorite thing to do is get kids ready, whether it's a new notebook, a crayon, a pen, like a slide rule for you engineering kids out there. Anything we can do to help kids, and you guys are always such a valuable part of that.
Yeah, and thank you for allowing us to be part of that. If Guam didn't accept Canes the way that everyone has here, we wouldn't be able to do these things.
Okay.
So that's one of the things we really look at, and we're like, wow, everyone here has been so welcoming, and we've been here now for 5 years, which is amazing. And we've got the one out on the base as well.
I've eaten here at least 700 times in that time.
See, there you go. Thank you.
Okay, now I got to ask though, because your area of operations, you're home based out of Hawaii, but you manage the Guam operations, Hawaii and Alaska. What makes Guam so distinct, as a market, and how, we've taken to this?
Yeah, Guam, it's tiny but mighty. So it's this whole thing of tiny but mighty. And being from Hawaii, we have the island feel, right? And then out here, it's different. Things take a long time to get here. We know everything's going to be a little bit of a delay, but also we have, I think, some of the best crew are right behind us here.
Always got a smile, always working hard.
Yeah. So it's one of the things you get, incredibly friendly friendly folks out
and
here.
And if I may say so, how many of our sunsets have you taken in? Because I know the dinner time rush here is really busy, but our sunsets, I will put them up against anybody in the world.
Okay, that'll be tonight. That's my plan for tonight.
Okay.
Yes, that is my plan for tonight.
On your last day before you go back to go check in on the other markets.
Exactly.
Please do that because our sunsets are
That's
absolutely
definitely.
amazing.
I know. I have a little bit of a view of the water, and the water looks gorgeous. I might try to get out for a morning swim tomorrow.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? The sun is not at all setting on our partnership with you guys over there because we really, truly enjoy working with you guys. It would be one thing if we just said, let's collab on a project just one time, but we've been working with you guys for a long time, and we really, really do enjoy how fun you guys are. And plus, the commitment to the community is, unwavering and everything. So thank you, Allie.
Thank you so much. Yes.
All right. Raising Cane's, come check them out, guys.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to News Bites. I'm Janice Carrasco. The Guam's Women's Club will be having their annual Mardi Gras on February 7th at the Hyatt from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. This event will raise funds for scholarship of University of Guam students. The 70th Guam Women's Club Mardi Gras, a glam rock funk fest. Tickets are $125 and can be purchased with any GWC members or guamtime.net. Next up, Make-A-Wish Guam and CNMI's Next Gen Board is excited to announce the launch of its Valentine's Pastry Gram fundraiser. Bring sweetness and joy to loved ones while supporting a wonderful cause. This initiative will directly benefit Make-A-Wish Guam and CNMI in their mission to grant transformational wishes for children battling critical illnesses. This Valentine's Day season, the community can purchase Make-A-Wish X Crumb pastry grams for just $20 each and features artwork from Wishked Jenna. Each pastry gram includes 1 caramelized croissant, 1 mini banana bread, 1 mini coconut or strawberry butter mochi, 1 mini fura cake, Chex Mix, 2 mini chocolate chip cookies, and 1 mini palmier. Yum! Place your order now at guamtime.net. Next up, help out the Simon Sanchez High School's class of 2026 with the Sharks Run, The Wave. The 5K 2K will be held on January 31st at Chamorro Village southbound, with showtime at 5 a.m. and go time at 6 a.m. $50 for a team of 4. Pre-registration is $15 and $20 on race day. All right, and let's see who's up for basketball this week, guys. We're gonna head on over. Ooh, all right, the morning game is the Bucks versus the 76ers at 11 a.m. And for the afternoon, it's the Clippers versus Jazz at 1 p.m. You guys can't miss it. It's gonna be a good game. Looking forward to it. All right, guys, that's all we have for today for News Bites. Thank you so much for being with us. This is Janice Carrasco. Have a lovely rest of your day.
It is a health, home, and lifestyle. Happy birthday on this Tuesday, everybody, to Nakrina Atoygui, and happy birthday to Mac. You are loved forever with a wonderful home, lots of health, and a wonderful lifestyle from all your families all over the world. And you get the really, really big heart emoji, the one with the reflection on the top, the really, really special one. That's only on the new iPhones, by the way. Hugs and God's blessings to you always. And please, and in all caps, have a wonderful day, and please enjoy your very special day. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@KUAM.com.
And that's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Destiny Cruz-Langus. Have a safe evening and stay beautiful.
Health, Home, and Lifestyle is brought to you by The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
House to Home on KUAM is a local television segment or program in Guam.
That's right.
That focuses on topics related to homes, real estate, interior design, and lifestyle.
We do.
It airs on KUAM, which is Guam's leading TV and media network.
We are.
The show often features tips for homeowners, spotlights on local properties, interviews with real estate professionals, and advice on making your house feel more like a home.
Because that's what we do. That's right, my friends and fellow Guamanians. House to Home back once again. Brand new year, same show. We are showing you how to live a healthy island life, how to manage your property, how to get the very best value for what you own, and live happily and live healthy. We got so much stuff planned for you this month, this week, today. So let's get right into it. Here's what we got for you this week.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
All right, everybody, Hafa Day, and welcome to the first House to Home of 2026. Liz and Gina, I hope you had a wonderful, festive, relaxing, blessed New Year. And I know at least one of you, because in our little private chat the three of us had, one of you saw a lot of snow.
Yeah, Gina was able to see the snow. I was able to see the food.
I saw the snow.
City and food.
Okay, I've always said that the craziest thing, I used to work in a department store locally. The craziest thing we ever did was stock antifreeze. I don't know why anyone would do that on a tropical island, but...
Right?
I
never thought of that.
Okay, and Gina, as a proper island woman who's got roots like on Guam and in Palau and everything like that, how do you handle snow? I would rather sweat than freeze.
You know, actually, and I was just sharing with somebody today about that, with the right layers on, it was absolutely wonderful.
Okay.
You know what I don't understand? You know, the little kids, our grandchildren, they were out there like half dressed and they loved it. So I don't know. They just adapt so well.
Okay, now there's a difference between it just being snowing, Liz, and snowing and windy. Snowing and windy is like no, I'm inside.
It's cold. I mean, Japan, Osaka and Nagoya was cold. We had to really bundle up. And once the wind starts to whip up, the temperature just drops at that point. So definitely layering and thick coats made a big difference.
Again,
sure.
Well, you know, you can give me the green grass and the blue sky of our tropical island paradise anytime, and I will take that. And that is something that I definitely want to broker. Gee, what a wonderful segue, because we're talking about brokering today.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
See how I kind of like transition into that? We're starting 2026 that way, people. Yeah. Okay, so Gina, you actually picked the first topic of the year and everything like that, because this is something, a new piece of legislation has been proposed by Senator Tello Taigui, who was one of the senators that you both and several of your colleagues endorsed last time about her stance on real estate. And she's actually trying to, shall we say, go ahead and frame it for us, like Gina, because this is a lot of the brokerage details.
Yeah, well, back in, when was that this first came up? August 2024, NAR mandated that whenever a buyer, and this applied to residential real estate.
Oh, the disclosure thing.
Yeah, the disclosure and buyer broker representation. And it was applicable. The NAR guidelines mandated that when we're working with a buyer, that prior to taking that buyer out, that we sit down in consultation with the buyer and go over a buyer broker agreement. So basically, the buyer goes into an agreement with their broker, their agent. And in the brokerage agreement, it details our responsibility to represent that buyer, what the compensation amount is going to be, how it's going to get paid, and under what circumstances that agreement could be canceled. And so that was mandated by NAR. Again, I think it was August 2024 that it went into effect as a mandate for us as members of the National Association of Realtors. All realtors here on Guam subscribe to that because we're all NAR members.
But now it's been filtered down to the local policymaking level too.
That's correct. That was
correct.
Tello's bill. Yeah.
Well, the reason for the bill was on Guam, there's a distinction between realtors who are part of the National Association, and we're under we have to follow the code of ethics, guidelines, all about the disclosure, which was dictated by the National Association of Realtors. However, on Guam, there are also real estate agents who are not part of the National Association and that do not fall under our code of ethics. So in the documentation of this bill, it means by law every real estate agent and broker are subject to the law, meaning there's got to be representation in writing whenever a regular real estate agent takes people around, because we were the ones, it was dictated under the National Association. But because of this law, now every agent on Guam, whether you are part of the realtor group or you are licensed and not part of the group, you are subject to this law. So the law placed this across the board for all those that are licensed doing the real estate work. And part of it is, again, it's all about disclosure, defining who represents whom, whether we are representing the seller or a buyer or a tenant, and also discloses the compensation, who is paying what amount to whom, whether the compensation is coming from the listing side of the transaction or coming, who's going to pay for it. Either the buyer pays for it or the seller or both. So it actually breaks things down.
Now, ladies, I know obviously both of you agree in principle with the high level concept behind Senator Tadiwi's legislation. Let me go ahead and bring that up now so everybody can get a look at it. Whoops, there we go. Screen share. And here we are. Okay. Is there anything like mechanically that you like or find like really noteworthy or interesting as we kind of like scroll slowly through the fact that it has to be a brokerage agreement and, you know, disclosure is so like heavily enforced? When it gets down into the line by line mechanics of this proposed legislation, is there anything that really sticks out to you?
What stuck out to me was the fact that this law expanded on the NAR guidelines. It isn't just applicable to residential real estate. It's applicable to leases as well. It's applicable. I don't see it specifically saying that it's mandated towards commercial, but it does say leases in general. So what I would assume that if you're going to be working with a commercial lease or residential lease, that it would be applicable in those instances.
There you go. Yeah, the buyer or leasee's rights and obligations regarding compensation paid to the brokerage. So yeah.
Yeah, you need an agreement whether you're renting or buying. This law is applicable to both instances. And Liz just explained, you have to outline who, you know, so I think the thing that we're not used to yet, buyers are not used to this yet, is the fact that you have to pick your realtor now. It isn't just about calling on the sign. Yes, call on the signs, but before you call on the signs, if you're actually in the market to buy real estate, if you've decided that is, you know, that you're serious about buying real estate this year, what the first thing you need to decide on is who is going to represent your interest. Find a realtor that you feel strongly about working with, or interview a couple of people, you know, call around, ask your friends, ask your family members, or go online. There's a lot of people online nowadays who market their services, and then find somebody, call them, ask questions, see if you believe they're going to represent your best interest, find out how they're going to do it. You know, I mean, of course, I hate to say this, but we're all going to say we will represent your best interest. But how are you going to represent my best interest? What does
of course, because every restaurant restaurant says we've got the best food like on the island, and now we can prove it because of A, B, C, D, and that's where the creativity comes in. That's where the innovation comes in, and and ultimately the customer service shines through on that point.
That's right. And you know what I do when I get a call and I say, well, we saw your sign, or I'm interested in this property and it's listed with another agent. The first thing I would ask is, are you represented? Because I, as an agent or broker, cannot take you to see a piece of property if you've already signed a representation agreement.
The sausage egg biscuit is perfect.
Now it comes with hot honey sauce.
I stand corrected.
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
And I always want to provide as much information on the front side so that they know which direction to go. And our job is to guide them and educate them. And if they don't know, then how can you best serve them without providing as much information as you can on the front side? That if this happens, then this is the direction we will take. Now, a buyer could go in and say, I am not represented. Again, we would say, okay, this is what it means. If you're not represented, who's looking out in your interests? And of course, if you have no knowledge of real estate and this is your first time buying, I think it's critical that you find, as Gina puts it, someone who knows how to guide you through the process versus going in unrepresented. And a seller could take advantage of you, Jason. You have no clue. And I'm asking X amount and you don't know what the market is because nobody's guiding you. And that's where a good realtor comes in.
And I would think, Gina, correct me if I'm wrong, but this also gives the realtors like the security and the peace of mind that me as a client, I won't all of a sudden be waffly or wishy-washy or vacillate or however you want to say it and jump from realtor to realtor to realtor, either because that's just what, that's just because the speed of the wind that day, or just because I feel weird. That gives you the right that I am going to be doing business with you today and for the term and the region outlined in the agreement.
Well, you know what it does? It gives the buyers clarity, real clarity. It explains to them the process, because before that's exactly what was happening. You just call from sign to sign. But now, if you happen to call me on my sign, which is really what happens most often, right?
You have a very nice picture on your sign, by the way. Both of you do.
Oh, thank you, Jason. I always pray that my picture, when you see that picture or my card, that you will recognize me when we run into each other. That is the goal. But going back to the sign,
so that means you're not going blonde anytime soon, I would assume.
Not ever.
You would look good as a blonde, I must say.
Okay. That's not happening, so I'm not going to think about it.
Okay.
But if they call me on the sign, what's happening is you're calling the listing agent, which is great. I'm going to give you every piece of information I can while I'm talking to you. But what I'm really trying to make an effort to do nowadays is I'm trying to take the time to explain to you the process. If you're really serious about buying a home, you need to understand that you need representation now. And for so many reasons. I mean, number one, by law, you need representation before you can actually walk into that house to look at it. And that representation doesn't have to be, I think Liz mentioned earlier, it could just be for each property, or you can sign a document saying, I'm unrepresented, but I need you to show me this house. Like if I were the listing agent and you wanted to look at my listing, I absolutely have no problem doing that for you. That is my job. The seller has, signed a contract with me to market the home. So if you call and you say, I have a buyer agreement with Liz, and Liz is unavailable, shoots, come on down. I'll show it to you. And then just get the detail. I'll show it to you. I'll give you all the details that I'm authorized to give, that's already in MLS. And then you talk over everything else with your agent, Liz. But let's say you don't have an agent. Come on down anyway. And you have options now. You can sign the non-represented buyer agreement. So I don't have representation, Gina, but I want to look at the house, no problem. Or I'm going to explain to you what representation means so that you understand what these contracts mean. Now you're actually hiring somebody to represent your best interest. And that's important. And that's part of the transparency. That's part of the issue that came up with NAR with the lawsuit. And that's part of why this went into effect. And I believe that was the goal that GAR had in mind. We want transparency for buyers, for the tenants, for everybody that's dealing in real estate. This will give them transparency. And the other very important thing is whenever you hire somebody, you got to agree to pay them something. And the buyer broker agreement, what I expect to get paid. And it also outlines how you're going to pay me, whether you're paying me out of your pocket or you're going to ask the other side of the deal, which would be the seller or the landlord, to pay for that compensation. That is completely up to you. Or you're going to add it in to the price when you make an offer. That is up to the buyer. But all of those fine points, they're in the contract so that you understand everything and move going to be.
Absolutely.
And what to expect.
The principle and unchanging rule of 150 years of American business is money is exchanged for goods and services. You take any business 101 class, that's the first thing they tell you. You want to be a business major, you understand that and you commit that to memory.
And I think one of the changes in terms of representation, part of the suit with the National Association had to do with sellers that were complaining that they paid for the buyer's compensation. So now these rules and guidelines on clarity as to who pays what. So on Guam, we explain that to any potential buyer, that what if the seller won't pay the compensation for the buyer's agent? So these are discussions that have to be had on the front side. What if? And we've had situations where buyers had to pay either the full commission or a percentage of the commission. So again, all about disclosure, who pays who. And agents are out there working not for free. As Gina puts it, we all are entitled to a living. And so the compensation, the question is, who is the compensation going to come from if you are buying a home? And is it coming from the seller or part from the seller and part from the buyer? So again, educating them and saying these are scenarios that could happen and we need to be prepared on the front end. And it's always good for Gina and myself to know if they tell us, well, I don't have the extra money. Well, then we're going to have to negotiate with the other agent to see what we can do to balance it out so this particular buyer can get the home they want and work out the details on the backside.
And I do believe we've now come full circle because Gina, you actually set the tone for this entire discussion by saying, look around, ask around, find a realtor or find a brokerage or find an agency that really works for you. And at that point, when you want to seriously do business with them and get the property, then you can start talking about the agreements. But by all means, shop around, right?
Oh, you have to. I mean, it's like any good decision, any good purchase you make out there, you don't just do it on the fly. So now, because you have to sign that broker agreement in advance of looking at properties, you absolutely need to invest a little bit of time into figuring out who is going to represent your interests the best. And yeah, call around, make some phone calls, talk to family, talk to friends. Everybody has an opinion on something, so I'm sure they'll share theirs on this.
There you go. And you can find Liz and Gina's wonderful faces on their wonderful signs along with their phone numbers, and they can talk to you and talk to this or about any other topic. So we are starting 2026 off right. We're going for what we always do on this show now, 10 years strong: education, opportunity, and a good positive mental attitude about this kind of thing.
I'm so sorry.
Business goes by so much easier, Liz. I'm sure you would agree when you got a smile on your face.
Definitely. But I've got to say, Gina and I love what we do. We love helping people find what it is they're looking for. That first and foremost versus the compensation on the backside. We want to make sure there's a balance as well. So it's a great 2026 to start with.
There you go. Okay, well, ladies, have a absolutely wonderful, wonderful week. I know you didn't bring any snow back with you, but maybe next year, maybe in the winter.
I'm gonna bring a Ziploc next year.
I'm going to hold you to that. All right. Have a wonderful week. Thanks again.
Thank you.
House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
You see this all white meat chicken breaded in tortilla chips? Here at Taco Bell, we're calling them, wait for it, nuggets. They're nothing like classic nugs, but you're just gonna have to accept them. I mean, we could have called them anything, really, like Derek. No backstory, just Derek. But Nuggets is already baked into everyone's memories, and so is Hidden Valley Ranch, obviously. And we mixed it with Diablo. Diabolical. Crispy chicken nuggets from Taco Bell, a brand new classic.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Half a day. I'm Claire Calvo, bringing you your weekly renewal. I am back with Risha again for part 2 of the series. Half a day, Rish.
Half a day, Claire.
Okay, well, it's a new year.
Yes.
So last segment we focused on New Year's resolutions or intentions.
Yeah.
But this week I wanted to focus on something I have found to be incredibly helpful, and I think you might be just one, probably the only one on Guam who practices quantum hypnotherapy.
Yes.
So first of all, can you just share a little bit about or what inspired you to become a practitioner?
For the quantum hypnosis?
Yeah.
Well, I noticed a couple of years ago, I think it was maybe 3 years ago when I got certified, hypnosis was starting to become a big thing in psychology. A lot of psychologists, counselors, therapists were saying hypnosis was helpful in their practice. So I started to do some research because there's quite a few out there, different types. And the quantum hypnosis was the one I was most drawn to. It kind of covers 2 parts. So yeah, I found it really interesting. And even for my own personal life, I wanted to jump into it and see, oh, what is this about? So I've been practicing it for 3 years now.
So explain, for those who are foreign to this, explain what that entails. I mean, I think when people think of hypnosis, they think of like, you know, some like talk show host who has it, invites someone, everyone just kind of falls asleep or barks like a dog or whatever.
Or does the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely different. Hypnosis as a whole is completely different now. I think it just really, it brings you to, I forgot what the state's called, but the very relaxed state before.
Like alpha or?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yeah, I think this one in particular that I do brings you, or is supposed to bring you to the state right before you fall asleep. And from that state, you're completely relaxed. So we can kind of go into the subconscious and see what lies there.
And there's so much in the subconscious. What is they said the percentage of we're living our life and a certain percentage of the conscious and another percentage in the subconscious. And I just remember thinking like, oh my gosh, there's so much more in the subconscious going on.
Right, the inner world. There's so much in the inner world that we haven't even addressed, I think, as a human race. But
what did you find hypnosis to be helpful with that was like even more so than just going for counseling?
You know, there's a lot that I'm trying to think about.
Because counseling would just be more the conscious, whereas hypnosis would be more
the subconscious. Yes. I'm trying to think of all my clients and how they benefited from it. Because not everybody is open to it, but when you are, I find that it's really helpful. Most of them don't come back for a while after they get the hypnosis because they just got so much out of it. Yeah, and they're processing.
Well, it took me a couple years before asking you to do it again.
Yes, yours was really good. But the difference, okay, so there's places that we get to, memories or different areas in the subconscious that we get to explore that you don't really do in counseling. And then the second part is it kind of ties into what I do as a counselor. I try to bring people to their more compassionate state, their more loving state. And in the quantum hypnosis in particular, there's a part 2 where she calls it the subconscious, where you answer questions, and I feel like you answer from a place of love, where your guard is down, your fear is not there. I mean, there's a way to navigate it, so where you're not afraid, and you like intuitively answer your questions.
There's so much more to explore in this, and I would love for more people to give it a try. So how could they reach you if they want to set up an appointment, or how does that work?
The best way is email. I think email racounselingservices@gmail.com.
Okay.
Email me, I'll send you back all the information you need to set up an appointment.
Exciting, and I will definitely be on that list as well. Before we close, is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah, just if you're open to that, if you feel, maybe you're disconnected from your intuition or something like that, give it a try. Give me a call, give Claire a call. You can ask her about her experience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Reese.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy New Year. I will see you next week on your Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
The sausage egg biscuit is perfect.
Now it comes with hot honey sauce.
I stand corrected.
Whether you're working to lose weight or working to gain muscle, the gym is a popular place for people in their New Year resolutions. That's why trainers and experts are preaching consistency if you'd like to accomplish those goals for 2026.
You'll be right here, overhand grip.
If you've tried having resolutions in the past, you know how hard it can be to keep them. Going to the gym is a popular resolution for many.
15 more.
And Renee Brown with West Indy Barbell
Good, aim for collarbone in.
says she wants to see those people in the gym weekly.
We see the most results when people are consistent with that and when people stick to our training program to a T.
Brown says once the new year starts, they typically see a 20 to 30% increase in people coming through the door. They also see an uptick in athletes who want to get better. John Loudon is one of those athletes. He's trying a different method to staying true to his goals.
You say what you want to do, but you don't really stick to it, so I'm writing my goals down. I'm checking them off as I get them done. I'm talking about them with my mom, my dad, just so they can help me and push me to my goals.
Studies show about 80 to 90% of people give up on their resolutions within the first month. Experts say setting too high of expectations and impatience are reasons why people fail. Trauma expert Alyssa Smith says the best way to stay consistent is to start off with small and easy goals.
The biggest enemy of any progress that we make is when you get in your own head and you block yourself because you're judging yourself, you're too hard on yourself.
The inside handle.
No matter what the goal may be, Smith says setbacks are bound to happen, but working with your brain and making it easy on yourself each day will go a long way towards building success.
We lose patience when we don't see the results immediately, and then we can lose that inspiration and the motivation. Start focusing your brain on what you did accomplish, and it becomes bigger in your mind than the things you didn't. So